Dieting on 900 calories a day as an 100 kg male. Absolutely ludicrous. And this video is needed. You know, sometimes you'll see on Instagram, the odd girl pop up on the Explore page, hey, I dieted on 900 calories a day. I'm not saying that's okay, you know, but it's more common potentially for a female to post that sort of content. But for a male over 100 kilos to be dieting on 900 calories per day, is it true? Is it something I did? Yes. At the time I was young, I employed a coach from my local gym. I didn't do my due diligence, but now I can sort of live to tell the tale. And as a coach, as experienced now, it's actually taught me some valuable lessons. As much as it's left me with some scars on my back, it has taught me what not to do with clients. And that is something I want to delve into today. And just to confirm, dieting females on 900 calories a day is still not okay for a long duration of time, because they can run into hormonal issues and they can run into losing their period, etc. and etc. But that's a video for another day. So what I want to talk about is dieting on 900 calories a day. Why did I do it? How did I do it? Etc. So I was dieting to compete for my first ever show. Naive, no experience in that world. Hired someone from my local gym who I thought was great because they spoke a good game. Did I start my diet the whole duration on 900 calories a day? Absolutely not. Was it the back end of the diet? Yes. But should someone over 100 calories be dieting that low for X amount of weeks? Absolutely not. Why? Libido. Energy, mental fogginess, energy. So when we look at it and break it down, there's many reasons alone just stated there. But what was my first experience? Obviously the diet didn't start there, but it led there. My first experience when I got there, I'm a character that is just a do. And I always had a notion, which I said to myself, and when I felt it getting hard, and I would say, listen to who you employ. And that was the voice, my subconscious voice in the back of my head all the time. Listen to who you employ, listen to who you employ. You've paid for someone for a reason. Till it got to a phase where the diet was unsustainable. I had low libido and I was drained day to day, and I absolutely hated training, and I was clock watching throughout the day. And I had vigorous hunger pangs. So my first experience was, one, it wasn't great. It led me to not compete in the end because I thought, fuck, if this is a way to do it, I'm really not willing to do it. Low libido, so that is sex drive. So not being able to perform sexual activity due to a lack of energy, due to the male hormones. You know, when your fats are too low, that regulates male hormones, that helps your libido, that helps your sex drive. Having food too low hindered that. So my first experience, which was meant to be an amazing prep, was horrendous. Took a strain in my relationship at the time as well. Then also mental fogginess, going to work and not being able to function, going to work and falling asleep at your desk due to chronic fatigue, which actually should be here, fatigue. So thank you for clicking to watch another video on the channel. You clearly follow myself or you follow the Team Jace page. So if you do follow us and you do watch our videos and you're interested in learning the principles which we use to get our clients in the best shape and some of the training principles which we use in this video, click the link in my bio on Jace_345, or click the link on the Team Jace page, Team Jace_ on Instagram, and we can get on a consult call and help you achieve your goals. Walking day to day, feeling like you've got 10 kilo plates under each foot. So that's what it did for me. My first experience wasn't pretty, or it allows me to share that experience there. And no one should diet this low, especially as a male over 100 kilos. However, I always say in dieting phases to my clients, there are needs and musts in temporary short bursts if they can be explained, if they can be justified. At the time I was told, hey bro, it's just a thing to do, you know, you'll be fine. So energy was obviously a concern. If energy dips, we can't perform in the gym. We can't perform in the gym at a high optimal level. We can't expend more. We can't expend more, slower the rate of fat loss there. Libido, sex drive, mentally as a male, you don't feel great. Mentally, your partner is not happy. They might go elsewhere. And then we've got mental fogginess. Mental fogginess is a state of fatigue which your brain goes into when it is not being fueled, when it's quite unresponsive due to chronic fatigue as well. And then we had general chronic fatigue is being at your desk and falling asleep, not being able to complete simple tasks due to mental fogginess. And these are some things that I had to go through at the time. And the diet I was on at the time, food sources, there wasn't many, but I remember it was white fish and veg. And you always hear, white fish and rice cake. It was genuinely a white fish and veg diet. 5 meals, white fish and asparagus. I did have carbohydrates. I had 5 grams of Fatago intra-workout. And if you know intra-workout carbohydrates, they're here to replenish Well, firstly, they're here as an energy source because they're carbohydrates. So to produce energy before your session or during your session, and then also help replenish glycogen. But when you're using 5 grams of carbohydrates, it's nothing. You know, typically ballpark figure, an average scoop of carbohydrates is 35 to 50 grams. We was using 10% of that. So that had no significant effect. If anything, it led to me craving more carbohydrates. I always say, if you want to cut carb cravings, cut out carbohydrates, and over a period of time, you'd get used to it. So food sources were 5 white fish and asparagus meals. Firstly, I was sick of white fish. Secondly, I absolutely stank of white fish. Thirdly, due to my protein consumption was too high anyway, to make up the caloric intake for the day. What did this lead to? Chronic hunger, like genuine chronic hunger, but with a young mindset of, I've just got to do the do. And then this led to, we would diet hard Monday to Friday, and then we'd have ridiculous refeeds on the weekend. Which in my opinion now, what I would rather do is split them calories on the weekend and have a more sustainable approach in the week and remove the cheat meals. So with diet hard Monday to Friday, we'd be absolutely going to bed thinking of that meal on the Saturday, Sunday, and we'd just eat all day. And it was basically, when we break it down, we was dieting Monday to Friday extreme when we was binging and just hoping for a good response and then repeating that process. And as you know, if you have a cheat meal, typically your leptin levels refresh, typically you can see a metabolic spike, and the next day you're absolutely ravenous. So imagine going off a high of a cheat meal and then going back to a 900 calorie diet. It was not sustainable whatsoever. Where I was working at the time, I was sleeping at my desk and I nearly lost my job. This also then led to binges. You know, after I trained, there was days where I'd binge on packs of Oreos. And again, then I'd get back to the diet the next day. Yes, it wouldn't have a significant effect because I would still be in a calorie deficit because I'm only eating 900 calories a day, even if I was binging. And that became a cycle I wasn't fond of. And that's when I started to realize this is not the way to diet a male on over 100 kilos. So we sort of had ridiculous refeeds and binges due to the mental state, the mental fogginess here. It was sort of an uncontrollable event, these binges. They were horrible, probably one of the worst things I've experienced. You would eat, you'd make yourself sick, and you'd try to get back on the wagon. You would just temporarily try and tick a box and be like, oh, do you know what, I'm sustained with food for the day. But this was not the way to do it. You know, ridiculous refeeds and binges. I always say as a coach, that's poor planning. And in hindsight, I feel like I was crash dieted just to try and get an end result and then go, and that's not the way to coach. It's about sustainability, having a roadmap, and not killing a human being in the process. And there's a term I always say is a fresh physique is a responsive physique, and that comes hand in hand. And that's why if you drive a physique too much in a fatigue hole, it starts to not respond, and that's why coaches tend to use a replenishment meal or a cheat meal at that period of time to try bring some freshness back into the physique to see a response. So someone who dieted on 900 calories per day, working with an accredited coach, what is my advice? 1, do your research on that coach. Go on their Instagram page, message their clients, hey bro, how is XYZ as a coach? Get some personal data. Look for referrals on their page. Are they tagging the clients that they're getting in shape? If not, why? If not, is there any horror stories? So start to look for referral methods. Ask about for a prep coach. Who's the greatest prep coach? Ask your friends, ask your circles. Look for sustainability. However, if you're competing, sometimes sustainability will go out the window, but there's also going to be a level of sustainability. If you can't physically do something, reach out and ask, is there an easier way to do that? Is there another option? And look for sustainability. Always get provided a roadmap, how you're going to get from A to B instead of just following a diet blindly and not knowing what you're doing. And always ask why. When I look back, I should have asked, why are we on 900 calories per day? Is that the only way to get the end goal? So dieting on 900 calories a day is the wrong way to do it. But my advice, so you find out you're doing it the right way, is research, get some referrals from current clients, find a sustainable diet, get a roadmap, and always ask why.